is good, YouTube? Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis coming to y'all with a quick video. I wanted to let you guys know I got some new merchandise available, not just t-shirt anymore. I got different type of t-shirt, different type of shirts and logos that you can purchase on my spread shirt, and also hoodies now. We have expanded and added more to the channel and more merchandise for the brand. Thanks for supporting. It will be in the description and the links will be in the comment section below. Thanks for helping me and supporting the movement. Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis. I'm going. What is good, YouTube? Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis coming to y'all with a quick video. This is a fan requested video, so I'm just knocking it out for this person. Particularly, we're going to talk about Golden State Warriors. And one thing about the Warriors, everybody knew that they had a terrible year. Just absolutely embarrassing. It was a year that a lot of us didn't expect. Some people made the Warriors making it to the playoffs, and some people had them out, but none of us had them having the season that they ended up having this year. Steph is gone. Draymond didn't show up to play. And you have a lot of guys that's trying to go out there, earn a spot, make a name for themselves, and develop throughout the year. Crazy year for Steve Kerr. He went to this team, and it was amazing from day one when you look at the records and the success and the championships. But he had a struggle patch in there, and he stood through it, and he's still their coach. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do this up-and-coming season. Now that they definitely won't be in the playoffs, even if the playoffs will start, they definitely won't be there. Even if they play more games, that's a guarantee because they're mathematically eliminated from the playoffs this year. So one thing we all know is they're going to get a top 10 pick guaranteed. And the pick that a lot of these people and fans want to see, they think James Wiseman can be the perfect player to plug into that system. But I'm here to do my job and tell you, is that true? I've been listening to a lot of people and watching some footage on this guy, James Wiseman. And I've been covering the Golden State Warriors every single year, even before they became championship team. I know Klay Thompson, I know Draymond Green, and I do know Steph Curry. They put in a lot of work. They know what it takes to win, and they know the style of play that they need to do to get that ring. When they won their first championship, it was highly controversial. LeBron didn't have help. Kyrie goes down. Kevin Love go down. And they still go up 2-1 in the NBA Finals. They find a way to win with Iguodala coming into the starting lineup, really playing good defense and making it tough and exhausting LeBron James. And they was able to win their first championship, especially for Golden State in so many years. And Steph Curry becomes a champion. But then we start realizing and seeing the real Steph. The Steph that can dominate and obliterate teams sometimes by itself, especially during the regular season. And it's amazing to see that they come this far. And after making it to the finals so many years in a row, they finally hit a rough patch. And that's where we at right now. Championships, MVPs, all the glory that you can have. They showed that they was human this year. They showed that they can be defeated. They showed that they can fail. But I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing just because it happens. It's about how you come back. It's about how you come back prepared. They made the trade for Andrew Wiggins to get out D'Angelo Russell. Klay Thompson and Steph should be healthy for next season at the start of the season. Draymond Green plays a hell of a lot better when they both on the court. And entering James Wiseman, a guy with a lot of potential, a lot of untapped potential. And that's something that we've seen this whole year. They went from being an embarrassing team to watch from time to time to people was just talking trash and throwing dirt on their grave to actually being a respectable competitive team. Even without Steph Curry, without Draymond, and Klay Thompson. Now, I was one of the people at first that said I like this team, even with D'Angelo Russell. I did not say they was going to win the title. I did not say that they was going to be a contender. Matter of fact, I didn't even have them in my top 5 teams in the West coming into this season with predictions. But I also didn't see Steph going down for so many months. And I also didn't see them really having nothing else other than that. And that's what really happened to them. Seasons like this can really change the course of your history, especially when you can add a potential star that can get paid 5 to 10 million every single season, even if they play above level. Even if James Wiseman is a perfect fit for this team, they still might not be able to draft him. They still might not even get him. But if they do, will that make them even better? If you can add a top 10 pick, and you do technically need a center that got size and length and mobility, and you can add him on a contract that he will come in with, that looks like something that you will be willing to take a gamble and a try on. And that's what you're doing with these draft picks anyway. Now, a lot of people say they should go for LaMelo Ball. Some people say just draft best talent available. Some people say just go with the perfect fit. Now, James Wiseman is a player that's raw. I don't know if a lot of people know that. When you're drafting a lot of these players, and LaMelo and them included, they're not where they need to be right now. And we've seen that this whole season with the Golden State Warriors. A lot of these players had to learn on the fly. They had to literally take their lumps early just because they were so bad and unprepared for this season. And even though they got better as the season went on, it's hard and it's tough to win in the NBA. You're playing against the best teams, the best coaches, and they're ready for you because they're trying to win too, to get to the playoffs for a chance to win the title. Now, even though you look at the record and you see how terrible the Warriors was this season just based off wins and losses, which is fair, one thing I definitely say is this is not going to be the same Warriors team you will see next year. And that's the scary part. A lot of people still hold Steph as one of the top 5 players when healthy. A lot of people say Klay Thompson is the second best shooting guard in the NBA when healthy. And we all say that Draymond Green is the heart and soul and the perfect match with this team. And that's something that we all will agree on when we think about the Warriors. But the thing about this is people are thinking getting a top 10 pick, possibly James Wiseman, will allow them to extend their championship window, which is important for multiple seasons. And even though that contract will look good, and he does fit what they need, and he can be a great difference maker, will that make them the favorites? And I feel like that's something that we will have to see. I don't think James Wiseman is a Tim Duncan. And that's something that y'all been referring to for years. I think, and I've been saying this for years, I think a lot of people sleep on the career that Tim Duncan has had. And that sounds crazy because he's the greatest power forward ever. But he's James Wiseman. I'm going to knock that out the boat. He's no Tim Duncan. And I think we will all agree on that. The other thing I want to say about James Wiseman, is he really a franchise-changing player? Do they need him to be that franchise-changing player? Because that's what Tim Duncan was. And that's what I don't see in James Wiseman currently. Now, the best part about James Wiseman coming to this team is they don't need him to be because they got Steph Curry, who is a franchise-changing player, with the perfect pieces around him. And one thing I like about this season is they was able to evaluate a lot of talent, really see who they want to keep around and who can be productive in their system. And with Steph and Klay back healthy, their jobs are going to be even easier and they're going to have less pressure and needs because they will have them hopefully for the majority of the season next year. They won't have to do as much. They won't be dependent on as much and they'll be more fresher just because this is still their team. Now, the biggest thing about James Wiseman is how good is he? Is he really going to be a difference maker on this Golden State Warriors team from day one, like Tim Duncan was, Rookie of the Year, championship in his second year? And people said that it was luck. It wasn't, it was an asterisk. But then he won it again. And then again. Is Wiseman that type of player? No. But can he be that in the future? That's a high bar to go. But that doesn't mean he can't become a quality player or even an all-star. See, the question with James Wiseman is how much do we want it? How much does he love the game? And how much will he develop and expand his game when he enters the NBA? That's the question that people want to know. That's a question that Tim Duncan didn't have to prove or ask because he did it from day one in season one. The problem with this thing is getting another valuable piece to Golden State, who has already showed even against the Rockets without KD, Even against Portland without KD, they're a dangerous team when you surround them with the right talent. And James Wiseman might be that guy. And even if they don't, there's some other pieces that I personally like, which is not no point of this video because they're not a part of the topic. I'm interested. I really want to see this work out. I really want to see how this falls in this draft. The problem with saying James Wiseman to Golden State is like I really don't make draft videos because I wait to the draft lottery. Then we can see where Golden State is at, and we know the first two potentially the first three picks. Will Golden State take that gamble and draft James Wiseman, or will they go with somebody that's proven? Will they go with somebody that has potential? Will they just go for anybody just to have the best draft pick available for their position? James Wiseman looks interesting. He looks like that guy that a lot of people want him to be. And with Steve Kerr, Steph Curry, Clay, and Draymond, and the rest of this organization having high standards, when you have the type of team with their pedigree, with a legacy that they have left behind already, and the mark that they have made on the NBA, is going to be a lot of pressure for James Wiseman to come in and produce, whether it's fair and whether he likes it or not. Coming to a team that has already been to the final just last year, a lot of people are already expecting him to be that franchise-changing player. The thing that we have to see is I don't see James Wiseman as that guy. And a lot of people said it's not really a superstar in this draft. Potentially years from now, and James Wiseman included, he can be a superstar. When Steph gets older, Clay gets older, and they need somebody else to be that rock. Right now, he's not that dominant offensive player to carry the load. Can he be that elite defensive player that can change the game for them and give them another dimension that they don't have currently? That's going to be the question that we all want to see. How will James Wiseman change the fortune of this team if he gets drafted? A lot of people don't know. A lot of people think he will be. All I can say is I don't personally see it right now. Best part about it is learning on the fly and learning from a team with that type of standard. They can mold you and mold you into what you need to be successful in this league. They're patient, they're smart, but they also are tough and hard on you because they want you to be at that standard that they hold themselves at when healthy. So this could be the best thing that happens to James Wiseman. This should be something that we look forward to seeing. And even though I don't see it right away, potentially he can be that missing piece for them. Problem is, he's far away from that right now. But let me know what you guys think. Is James Wiseman the Tim Duncan? Is James Wiseman the right piece for this team? Can James Wiseman become that anchor? Can he learn and develop into that multi-faceted scorer that they personally don't have at the center position? And honestly, never really had outside of DeMarcus Cousins, who wasn't healthy enough to really see what he could bring to the table because he was getting beat up and he missed a lot of the season. But other than that, this is something that we all got to see. We got to see if they can actually get James Wiseman in the draft, which we don't know until the lottery. And even if they can, he's far away from a finished product as he should because he's so young and he hasn't even played at the NBA level. But it will be a good addition, and it will, bring a lot more excitement to Golden State. But it is kind of crazy when you think about it. You come back with 3 all-star caliber players in the prime of their career. Plus, you've shown that you have some decent role players and some type of youth that can bring some energy and some fight, which they showed later this year. And then, you bring in the hunger for failing and embarrassing themselves this year. They're going to want to prove everybody wrong just like they did once they lost to the Cavaliers. And they really went on a mission and ended up winning 2 more championships and went to another finals last year. So they got the right mentality. They got the right staff. They got the right organization. It just, does James Wiseman want to be great? Is he going to put in the work? And if he do, he can be a great to outstanding pickup for them in the future. I just don't think it's going to happen that fast because of the learning curve and the lumps he's going to get along the ride. And his body still does have to develop too. But other than that, I see why you guys are assuming it, speculating and you do put two and two together, he could be a perfect fit. Another guy, Andrew Wiggins, how would he fit once Clay, Draymond, and Steph is all on the court with him? I think that's another thing people sleep on because Wiggins is a guy that like the ball in his hand, and he's at best when the ball is in his hands. And Wiggins can knock down threes, he can create, but how will he fit in when he doesn't have the ball in his hands? Will he move what he cut? He showed that he could do it, but Clay's not there. Draymond's not there. The pick that they might get, the pick that they might trade isn't there. And they might not honestly need him to do those things, but they might do it to give him some shots to get him comfortable and going throughout the game. But other than that, this team is going to be tough. They're going to be something to watch for, and James Wiseman will only increase the interest, especially when we seen the season that they had this year. But other than that, that's all I got for you. I'm not going to diss James Wiseman. I'm not going to overreact, underreact. I'm not going to make no predictions because they might not even get him anyway. But I just wanted to tell you guys that he's not a Tim Duncan. He's not that franchise-altering guy. But at the same time, Golden State, at this current predicament that they're in, they really don't need him to be that guy, which is the best part for him as a young developing player that hasn't even played in the NBA just yet. That's a good situation to be in. That's a championship potentially place to be in at a young age. And if you can have an impact and really be able to make a name for yourself, especially in the playoffs, and use that confidence and that learning that you do that rookie season and come back for that sophomore season, he could bring more to the table and give them a higher ceiling that they might not have without him. So that's another thing to look at too when you look at him as a player and what he has done so far in high school and a little bit that he did in college, and you look at his upside. This could be a scary team, which we already fear that they is. And then adding another piece for nothing, really, contract wise, can only increase the excitement. But other than that, that's all I got for you guys is a little speculation, a little bit of fun, and a what if situation, which I really don't like to do. But this is something that somebody wanted me to talk about, so knock it out for y'all. Didn't really have nothing really planned today, so I just gave y'all something like this. So hope you guys enjoy. Like, comment, subscribe, and share. Quinn Wade, Basketball Analysis, I'm gone.